Good evening, all, and welcome to the Tactical Devils. We just witnessed Dominic Calvert-Lewin, none other, Paul Cucurella's hair, and nothing happened. Referee Graham Scott didn't do anything, and again, we tried with Martinez. We saw it. He got a red card, 3-game ban, and now this. It's terrible. It's terrible. We will have a great debate when it comes to this. But the main topic of the show is this one. Let me just add it to the stage. Breaking Matheus Cunha is in doubt for tomorrow's game versus Brentford. He had scans earlier this week and haven't trained properly the last couple of days. So again, what should Carrick do if we start the game with no left winger? But do not despair, my friends. There are some good news coming in with Patrick Dorgu. Apparently, he might be ready for tomorrow's game. It will be up to Carrick. There will be a lot to discuss. Today we have the usual updates. There have been some links with Baleba again. We have been linked to Pierre Kalulu, the Juventus fullback. There are other transfers update, but the main topic will be about Cunha and Carrick and the Brentford preview. So guys, while you wait, do me a favor, just do a favor. Help the community, smash the like. It's so important. Subscribe if this is your first time on the Tactical Devils. We are only 9 subscribers away from 1,800. That will be a milestone for us on a road to 2,000. So guys, do us that favor. And Stu and I will be back with a proper show, full 90 minutes, maybe some added time after the intro. So see you in a second. Yes, guys. Welcome to the Tactical Devils. This is my co-host, Stu Woolley, and I see people have tuned in already. Guys, remember, smash the like. So, Stu Woolley, how's your weekend been? You look a little off today.
Yeah, a little pink. Yeah, no, it's been brilliant. A wedding over the weekend. Had a great time. Way too much beer. Way too much beer. Fell asleep outside in the afternoon. It's embarrassing. Embarrass the family, but such is life. But no, do you know what? It's all good. Had a lot of fun, and great to be back. Looking forward to tomorrow. I think it'll be an interesting game. Haven't really caught up with what's gone on in the press, so I'm kind of looking to see what you got, really, pal. So yeah, all good.
Yeah. 15 likes already. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. I want to say hi to the Mutinator. We have Gas Elliot, big up Gas. We have A-Ball coming in. We have Tom Porter. Yes, let's hope it's not true. And also Robert says it's fake news. Well, I'm only reporting the weather. I have a question mark in the thumbnail because we don't know. But there are some reports stating that Matheus Cunha could be injured and he hasn't trained properly the last couple of days. So again, let's just delve into it, Stu. And we have Sean in the house. Big up, Sean.
Big up, Sean. Big up. He's got that James Earl Jones. He's Darth Vader in disguise. This one, by the way. That's United versus everybody. If you're not subscribed to his channel, so please do.
Yes, go do that, guys. No, I would just want to talk a little bit about Matheus Cunha because the reports that came out, Cunha has been injured now for the last couple of days, and this report it came out the report earlier this week about Matheus Cunha. Let me see if I can find it. Give me 2 seconds. Where is it? I have too many. Yeah, this is the. No, it's not. Well, I'm waffling, so I can't find it right now. But the report says that Cunha has been injured, can't train properly. Again, maybe it's just a precaution. Maybe we're just saving him up for the game. But again, leaves us in a lot of problems if we can't start because we don't have any left wingers. We know that Patrick Dorgu has been out with a hamstring injury for at least the last 8 weeks. And, we should bring him back carefully if we do play him. So it's out of the question for me that Patrick Dorgu starts the game anyway. So again, with no Cunha, we will be forced to play, let's say, Ahmad on the left and Bumo on the left. Who knows how we can put up the team. So again, is it worrying that Cunha is not starting or maybe is injured?
I've been wondering for a couple of weeks now. Anyway, we haven't seen the very best of Cunha for a couple of weeks. I think prior to that, and then around the match, he was outstanding. And his form has dropped off a little bit. He's not doing the penetrating runs that we've seen him do before. And I'm wondering if he's had an injury over the last week or two, and maybe it's just fallen off a cliff for him in terms of he needs to get it rested or needs to get it repaired. Interesting thing for us, really, tomorrow night defines our season in many ways because we get the draw, we get the win. We're 100% guaranteed Champions League football. We know that. Everybody knows it. Brentford know it. We know it. The whole Premier League knows it. It may well be that Carrick and the coaching staff might take the viewpoint that I'm with you on Dorgu, by the way. Dorgu doesn't start for me. Maybe, he comes in over the next week or two. And maybe they feel that Ahmad will be enough if Cunha can't make it, but we should have enough to win the game tomorrow night. Anyway, maybe, Carrick and the coaching staff have taken that view. If they have taken that view, that's absolutely fine. And we win. Then ultimately, our job's done, really, isn't it? So what we've got to do now is to continue to try and stay where we are. Do the players want third place? Do they want fourth place? We don't want fifth place because we know you've got to qualify.
No, apparently you don't. All the English teams comes in directly.
We go straight in, do we? Okay.
And it's not confirmed, but if any of you guys know, let me know in the live chat. But yeah,
I don't see the benefit of then. That to me is poor because you play for fifth. You should be in a qualification Champions League playoff for me, so you make it through. I think if you finish fifth and get into Champions League, I think that's pretty poor. That's just me personally and the way I view football. But
it could have something to do with the rankings, when you draw the next games and so on. So it's always better to come up higher on the table than
maybe actually, Jarvis, maybe it's different since they went to 32 teams or whatever this fucking league is. That might have changed, I suppose. I didn't think of it that from that point. But ultimately, Villa win the Europa League too. I think don't sixth place get. I mean, there's talk that sixth place might get it, so I don't know. But look, if Cunha is carrying a knock, Jarvis, I'd leave him out anyway. We should have enough to beat Brentford. Maguire's back anyway, isn't he? So he's likely to go in.
Before you go to Maguire, I just want to say, if you look at this, the other news that I laid out, this came out earlier this week from Rob Dawson also, that Man United are hopefully on both Yoro and Matheus Cunha that will be fit to face Brentford. That Yoro missed the Chelsea game due to a small knock in training. It's not said to be serious, so I would suspect that Yoro is back for tomorrow's game. But Cunha, he's got a little bit of a discomfort in his right groin, and he had to come off against Chelsea. And according to the reports I have read, he haven't trained properly all week.
I wouldn't risk it then with a groin injury, man. Yeah,
you're known for groin injuries, Stu.
No, I do you know what? I've had a couple, and they're not very nice. They're not pleasant. You get that. You got the telltale sign of two lumps on the side of your groin. You can feel it, and it's painful, and it's difficult to maneuver yourself. You need to rest it. If he's got a little bit of discomfort, Jarvis, he needs to rest it. For me, bringing Ahmad, I agree with Eyeball. I like that. That's fucking funny as fuck. Eyeball. That's funny as fuck. I like that. I agree. I think Ahmad can come in, Carney, and just rest Cunha. I don't think we necessarily need Cunha to win the game. I guess is what I'm saying.
No. So
interesting
again,
what you say about Yoro, mate, Jarvis. Interesting what you
Yep.
say about Yoro. For me, and we'll go through this later, and I think we will both agree on this. So for me, heaven starts. It's heaven plus
Maguire.
I would say so. You know, he could bring in Yoro, couldn't he? But I would imagine he'll bring in Maguire because Thiago's a bit of a handful, isn't he? In terms of power. So
yes, and I think he's more astute, more experienced in a way as a player than, for example, playing up against the Lap, who had a full game, you know, the Chelsea game. So,
and I think also, mate, and I think also as well, we're in a situation where Brentford don't have a lot to play for, apart from where they finish in the league financially for them. But
no, I think they're still fighting for Europe.
Can they make Europe? Oh, got me.
They can, you know. It's all the teams are on 49 and 48 points. You know, the 6th and 7th place is up for grabs.
Europa Conference, that's up. I haven't got my phone with me for some reason, so I can't fucking.
We can bring up the table. We can have a quick look if you like. You know, it's no problem. We always do this. You know. So if you look at the table right here, you see Brighton on 6th place are sitting on 50 points, Bournemouth 49, Chelsea 48, Brentford 48, Fulham 48.
Okay.
Even Everton is in it, 47. So there's 3 points from 11th to 6th, and all of them are fighting for 2 spots. That's Brighton and Bournemouth. Yeah. And even if Chelsea comes in let's say 6th, and they win the FA Cup, they will get an extra Europa League spot, and even 8th will give Europe.
Funnily, they turned up today, didn't they? Funny enough.
Yeah.
What a surprise. What a surprise. Rossini gets the boot and Chelsea turn up. Wow. Who'd have thought it, mate? Who'd have thought? We've never seen that before, have we?
The fucking player power and players, you know, I just them. You know, for me, it tells me all about bad attitude. If players can turn up for one manager and not another, tells me that they are not proper professionals.
No, I hate them. But actually, I'm looking forward to the game. I think Brentford will be a real test for us. They're a really good side. I think Keith Andrews. I know it's an unpopular decision, but he's got to be up there for Coach of the Year for me.
At least surprise of the year.
At least surprise of the year, something.
It started out really bad, and then, you know, you started winning games.
Who's the defensive?
And also, when you think of it, you know, they lost Mbumo, they lost Vissa, they lost Nørgaard, they lost their goalkeeper. So again, you know, and they lost their manager.
He lost 5 players, and so I think he's done well. And you know, so fair credit to him. And I like him. I like Brentford's style of football. They're going to chase us all over the park, Jarvis. I mean, they really are. I mean, I got into trouble with some Brentford fans a couple of years ago when I called them 8-year-olds when they beat us 4-0. And I was fuming, so I said they're running around like a bunch of fucking 8-year-olds. And I got absolutely slaughtered by Brentford fans. But Keith Andrews has got them a little bit more regulated in their approach and the way that they play. Really economical. First one. I think it's brilliant. I love it. Absolutely brilliant, though. They are. I totally agree with you, Paul. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Paul. I think he's got a chance. Or he should be recognised, Jarvis, anyway, at least. Keith Andrews.
Yes. Yeah, you know, as I said, surprise of the season, maybe, you know, coming in and doing bits. We have seen a lot of these teams, you know, the Leicesters and even Southampton's team that's doing well for a couple of seasons when they sell all the players. You know, Liverpool, they robbed Southampton back in the days, and now you see Leicester even getting relegated into second tier. No, third tier. So
third tier now. League One. League One.
Yeah, League One. So again, you know, it's not an automatic coming in and doing well for another season after losing players. And also the same goes to Bournemouth and Iraola. They sold all their best players.
Yeah.
So they have very, very good structures, and the club is set up well. And again, my hat's off to them. And Paul comes in and say Brentford are good this year, Stu, managed by the magical Irishman. Everybody thought it was Liam Senior before Liam Senior was a thing.
That's it's a really good point, that, because people were thinking, what was he, a throwing coach or a set piece coach? Or
he was a set piece coach.
Yeah, a set piece coach, and I'm thinking, oh, for fuck's sake.
But again, we had this debate the other night. My statement is a set piece coach is not just in charge of set pieces. That's just his main occupancy. He also he's also a footballing coach. It's just another voice on that pitch helping out.
He's not the gaffer.
Yeah. No, but again, I think having proper coaches around, it will always help.
Yeah, and I think the interesting thing about him is he's quite meticulous. Whenever he was either commentating or in the studio on Sky when they were doing the EFL games, he was really quite interesting to listen to, interesting to watch, because his understanding of the game and the way he put it across was quite good for us to fathom. So yeah, credit where credit's due to him. I'm pleased for him, to be honest. I'm pleased for Brentford, but Brentford are very much like Bournemouth, aren't they, Jarvis and Brighton? Whenever they do something, they seem to get it right all the time. They seem to get it right with players. They seem to get it right with the managers, the coaches. They're not a big club in terms of support, but they've got loyal supporters. Returning week in, week out for them. But they get what's really important is they get behind the team and the club. Their fans constantly get behind the team and the club. So yeah, pretty happy. Pretty happy to be honest. But I'm really looking forward to the game, and I'm looking forward to the game because we're being starved at the moment. There is so long between us playing. Apart from the midweek games just recently, we aren't playing for a full week. I mean, it's like Friday to Monday, or it's fucking Saturday to Monday, or it's a nightmare. So yeah, really looking forward to the game.
Yeah. I don't know, guys. By the way, King, what happened to Cunha? He's out with a groin injury. He was subbed off in the Chelsea game, and he hasn't trained properly all week. So rumors has it that there's a big chance he won't start tomorrow. And now we are going to go into the tactical bit of the show. When it comes to the Brentford game tomorrow, this is what I love the most. So and also do as King Solbo tells you, up the likes, people, smash the likes.
So does Danny B. Danny B does the same.
Yes. Thank you, guys. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for the support. When it comes to Keith Andrews, he's not very. He's not doing anything else that Thomas Frank didn't do. They build a strong identity. They have their principles as a team, and it's all about a compact defensive shape, aggressive pressing triggers. When things happen, you can see them really bite. They are direct as a team, but not in possession. They're not trying to keep possession for the sake of it. It's always been like this, and they are dangerous on set pieces. They are like an Arsenal team in disguise in some ways. They have the right back Kalulu, or what's his name?
Yeah, it is Kalulu.
Fantastic throw-ins.
You know what I like about one thing he does differently to Thomas Frank. And everything you've just explained there is absolutely correct. But he will stretch the diamond when they're pressing. So they won't press as a 3 or they won't press as a 2. He'll stretch the diamond. And I've noticed that a lot. So
yes, Coyote, yes.
Coyote, yeah. And I've noticed that a lot. So they'll use their high-end 8, whoever that may be, and he will push off almost.
Is it Mike Jensen? What's his name?
Jensen, that's him. Is it
Jensen?
Yeah. And he'll almost push and press as a 10. but yet his speed at getting back into the 8th
No,
position.
you're talking about it's actually it's Damsgaard, the Danish. Yes, he plays as the number 10 for Brentford. Yeah,
I've noticed it a lot, and I like the way that he does stretch it and then compact it almost as soon as transition goes, bang, they're back in the compact middle three, and I quite like that about Brentford. I also like that he does take risks in possession, as you quite rightly say. When they receive it, they're very
but it's about the triggers. It's rehearsed. Yeah. They see the trigger. Let's say if the fullback gets the ball, he's caught by the byline or in the corner. Whenever they bite. So
what I'd like to see us do, though, to counter that, and I say it a lot, I'd like to see us not panic in possession. And I noticed last weekend we were panicking a little bit in possession. Luke Shaw in particular, I thought. I thought Maguire was great, but there are times when the ball was fed into feet and we didn't quite know what to do with it, so we were feeding that out wide and we were just going along with it. I'd like to see him pop it off into the middle. Either Casemiro come and take it off Shaw, or take it off Dalot, or drop it into Bruno.
The question is, Brentford won't allow it. This is Keith Andrews. They are so compact centrally. They will never give away. That's one of their key principles as a tactic. Principles in the game. They shift shapes. They have a back five. They have a back four, 4-4-2, 4-3-3, 5-3-2, whatever. They always compact in the central area. That's their key principle as a team.
But this is
why I can't see us progressing the ball centrally. I don't think we will see much from Kobe Mainoo in tomorrow's game. This is why I hate playing against Brentford. You feel like you can never play football because they are like just strangling you for the full 90. We have been doing this. We have been doing this against Brentford so many times. They are so hard to play against. They have been our biggest team for the last couple of years.
They are a nightmare, and I agree with you. I don't think Kobe Mainoo will get a great deal of space. I don't think Bruno will get a great deal of space. I think we're going to see a lot of Hollywood Bruno tomorrow night. I do.
Yeah.
I think we'll try to go long on occasion. What I do want to see is, I think it'd be a great test for Kobe and his spatial awareness now. Like you quite rightly say, if there is a trigger press, what can we do as soon as we receive it? What space can Kobe get, and what can he do with it? Because with Brentford, if you don't have 10 yards to work with, you've got no space whatsoever. It's one or the other with Brentford, and I like that.
It's true. It's true, too.
Yeah, but if you don't have 10 yards, because I tell you what, Jarvis, they won't give you a yard if they don't give you 10. That's the problem, isn't it? So when Kobe gets it, I want to see him drift into space to receive it, to push us up. But I'm with you. I don't think we'll get that space. I think it'd be very, very tight, and I don't think we're good enough down the wings.
Wide. I have a solution, Stu, but as I said, the principles is always protect the middle, kill central progression, no progression through the middle, and if the ball comes through the middle, they will collapse and fall down into a 5-4-1 very compact shape. So again, it's going to be a tough one, and I don't like playing against teams like this. We have seen Man United do it before. I have my worries. It's not going to be an easy game.
Yeah, we're not very successful. I agree with you, because as much as they don't play a low block, they do play the low to medium block, and that's our problem, the suffocation side of it.
Yeah.
And we'll go, and I know what you're gonna. I know what you'll do when you'll talk about it. We'll go from side to side, side to side, side to side, and try and work it up. We will. I know we will. And we both know that. And then what will happen is we'll get a loose ball. Brentford will hit us, and they'll go 3-4-5, straight at it. Thiago's the one that's waiting for the either the pass over the top or the cross into the box or whatever, and he's very cute at that. So I agree with you. What I don't want to see this time, Jarvis, I don't want to see us go short from the goal kicks anymore. Not against Brentford, because they'll hit. They will hit us. That's where we're going to have to try and lob it into the middle and see what space we do have.
Well,
but again, I think we'll get it.
For me, I think we could do it, but I don't want to see the 4-2 build up from Carrick.
No, I don't want to see that.
I think we need to be quicker to go into the 3-2-5 formation and then start progressing from that one. for me, that would, so I would prefer the 3-2 build up.
So
And for me, in this, Stu, because I've been thinking, what are we going to do if we start Ahmad on the right?
Well, yeah.
If we start Ahmad on the right, because I will most likely us playing, let's see, bring up the tactical board. Let's just go into it. And
yeah.
And let me know your take on this, Stu, because this is what I love, talking tactics. We have Dalot, and let's say, I don't know if this is the starting 11, but let's just go with it. So we go into a 5 and something like this. But in the progression of play, I don't want to see Dalot out here and Ahmad. Let's say if it's Ahmad who starts in this position, I want Dalot to invert, and I want to keep Ahmad here, because as soon as Mazraoui is on the ball, it's very important. As soon as Mazraoui is on the ball, the press, the guy who's covering this area, he will always take a step forward against this guy.
Yeah.
And then and if you revert, then there will be an opening centrally. And I want Ahmad to drop a little bit deeper, so he will receive the ball in his usual, let's say, Amorim position. And I think that is when you can utilize Ahmad in his best position. But it's all about Dalot's movement, and Dalot needs to be smart enough. And the right centre back in the 3-2-5 needs to see the little movement from the winger when he steps up to press, because that's the sign for Dalot to invert, and then he will be the open man. Do you get my thoughts? Because even against Leeds, it caught my mind because I saw Cucurella doing this a lot of the time for Chelsea today, inverted, but he had the trigger every time the Leeds winger took a step forward, then he inverted, and the ball progressed directly through the press of line.
Yes. So I've got a slightly controversial take on this. Not that I don't disagree with you, because I think you're absolutely correct. So I'm not disagreeing with you. What I'm saying is, though, I would maybe, as much as I thought about it, and I've been thinking about it on and off all day, would I go with Ahmad, or would I actually go with our best press player, and that's Mason Mount? And I think on this occasion, I would go with our best press player, which is going to be Mount. Now, by doing that, I think you've got to switch Bruno up on one of the front three, remove Ahmad out of the system, and then press play, and then put Mount in. So where you got Bruno in as a 10, absolutely 100% you are spot on about Dalot coming in. And here's the other thing that's really going to surprise you, and you're going to give me a nice little grin here. I would absolutely agree with you. I think you would need to play Mazzari in that system that you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah, because I want Mazraoui because of his passing range. I think he can find.
Maguire can do that. I don't think Maguire will notice what Dalot's going to be doing when he makes a play. Which is why when you put Mount in there in place of Bruno, and put Bruno onto one of the wider areas, yes, I know what everyone's going to say. I get it. I really get it. We're taking our creative player out in the middle.
So where do you want to play Mount instead of Bruno?
No. So you take Ahmad out, and you put Mbeumo on the right. You put Bruno left of Sesko. This is just saying Cunha's out the equation, Jarvis.
Yes. These are just dots right now. I'm not looking at the names.
Yeah, just say he's out the equation. So you put Bruno to the left side, and you put Mount in and around the middle. Or you could play Mount a little bit wide left. He's not a winger, so you can't rely on him to play the full width of the pitch. But his pressing ability, if you can put Bruno just on the edge of the 18-yard box. If you just drag Bruno just to the edge of the 18-yard, the Brentford side.
Okay, so around this area,
and then put a big circle in and around there. So a little bit more.
bigger.
Yeah, that's it. So what I'm looking at is Mount's strength is his pressing and his running. I think we'll all agree with that. We all think he's a great presser of the football. And I think he's going to have to cover a wider area to stop them getting out and springing out. Because Sesko won't do that for you. Sesko won't move into the quadrants like Mount will. And then Bumo won't necessarily move into the quadrants like Mount will as well. So yeah, I would bring in Mount because I think he's more versatile. Not by skill, not by football.
I don't trust Mount. I have to be honest. But I get your ideas, Stu, but I don't trust him.
But I'm talking about his press play. So one of the things you identified.
Big up, Yala. Big up.
One of the things you identified, which is absolutely key, is it's a trigger press. Mount's got to do that as well. I look, guys, I totally agree with you. I think you're right. You're right to question what I'm talking about here. But he's our best press player. We know this in terms of in-your-face pressing. If you take him out of the equation and you put Ahmad in there, say Jarvis, which again I've got no problem with. If you do, then you put Bruno back into his position, and we use Bruno through the middle with Casemiro and Maino, etc., etc., etc. I don't think you get the right quality of press from Mbeumo, Sesko, and Ahmad. That's my biggest problem. So I think you've got to push somebody in there who's going to really sit on the two centre halves, sit on the fullback, and try and block that little square pass into either their wide player or into the middle. That's what I would do and try and stop that. Here's the other thing about it. I don't think Keith Andrews would consider that. By the way, let me be clear. There's absolutely no fucking way Carrick is going to do this. So I'm talking bollocks, really. But that's how I think we could get at Brentford.
Yeah. Yala comes in and asks just a quick question: is Mount fit enough to play 90 minutes?
No, I think we could probably get 60 out of him, Yala. I think it's a great question. I think we could probably get 60 out of him, and then you could bring Ahmad on. I just don't see a better player to press the likes of Brentford. And you know, when you talk about Brentford, Jarvis, and this is, and I hope the Devilish Tacticos have picked up what you were saying. They're not just your average team. You know, they're not blessed with the best footballers, but they're blessed with a fucking work ethic that is twice as much as Manchester United's work ethic and our players' work ethic. They will run and run and run, and they will hunt you, and they will pressure you, and they will give you nowhere to move. And we haven't got anyone in our team apart from Mount that's willing to really go ahead and press. Now, when we play any team, Jarvis, whether it's Chelsea, whether it's Liverpool, how many times when they've got the ball, the defence have got the ball, do we sit back? How many times do we drop back? Not towards specifically the halfway line, but a quarter of the way into the opposition half. We drop back really deep. Yeah, where your line is there, that's where we drop to.
Yeah.
Your line you just had there. So just on that.
Yeah, we do. But you know, our build up is that's why I'm talking about. I want us to build up in a 3-2. So for those of you who don't know, the 3-2 will basically be three defenders and the two DMs who will be part of the build up. And in a situation like this, if you look at the other side, there's no Dalot, there's no Luke Shaw, there's no one here. So again, you know, let's say if we progress the ball from Lamens to Shaw, he drags it a little bit higher, you drag the team over to this side, and then you start progressing, because then you start back to the other side again. So let's say the ball goes to Heaven goes to Mazraoui. And in this instance, let's say Thiago is on Heaven, Damsgaard is dragged out right, then Mazraoui. Then you will see Sade, for example, the left winger, take a step forward. And in this instance, you know, because when you press high, you go man to man, basically. So I want Dalot to take this movement inward, because there will always be a passing lane in this area. Yeah. And I also want Mbeumo to drop down, because as soon as, let's say, Dalot has the ball, you have Mbeumo in this direction. And also this other, you have other options. You see, let's say Dalot gets the ball and get to turn with it and starts running. We will have the options, for Bruno to run in this area. We'll have Casemiro, we'll have Sesko doing the diagonal runs, and also Mbumo. So we can attack their flanks because we know they will drop back as soon as possible, but they always concerned about the central areas. So there will be space. There will be opportunities for us to attack this area. And I think if you can get Ahmad in this area, 1-against-1, you will see the best of Ahmad. But we haven't, because we haven't played Ahmad to his best of his abilities. But this is why I want Ahmad, because I want him to start a little bit deeper. I don't want Ahmad to start here. I want Ahmad to receive the ball down here and be part of the progression.
Yeah. But there is actually a more simplistic route as well. See, your point is well made, and absolutely. But if you push the ball out to Luke Shaw, again, then I'm looking at whoever is playing the 10, whether it's Bruno, whether it's Mount, whether it's Cunha, and I'm looking for a nice little dink across here. And,
the problem is on this area, you don't have the extra man, because you don't have a fullback in this area, because that's Luke Shaw.
He doesn't need it there. He won't. We don't need the extra man.
Yeah, but it has something to do with their press play. Where are they comfortable? Can they follow? Can they follow the runs?
Yeah,
you always see.
But you're right. This is where I think we play into Brentford's hands, because when you got the ball there, if Cunha's just say Cunha's over by Coyote, just say for argument's sake he plays, and you've got Cunha over by Coyote. I want to see Bruno spinning in. And hitting the shaded area here, just at the top, a bit further up, to the right, just at the top of the 18-yard. Yeah, I want to hit him. So Luke Shaw's got someone to bypass the press. You're absolutely right about the press, mate. Totally. I can't agree with you anymore.
You usually see Mainu even dropping down all the way here.
Yeah. So what I want to do is let's try and cut the press out if we can. I'm not saying we can, mate. I'm not. But I want to see us try on the odd occasion, try and do that. But it still won't stop. It won't stop Dalot or the Ahmad combination. You're talking about the diversion in for Dalot dropping to Ahmad, if Ahmad plays, for example. But I want to see us just try it 2, 3, 4 times in the game. Just try and hit that ball there, just to try and cut out the press. Well, like I say, I couldn't agree with you more. The way that you've explained that, and the way that you want us to play, I think you're 100%.
I'm just putting out footballing ideas, the inverted fullback, and because I was thinking, how can we get Ahmad back into his wingback role? Where he was.
I know you've been talking about it for a while.
I feel like right now, tomorrow, we won't see Cunha start, and then what are we going to do? Okay, Mbumo can play on the left. We can play Ahmad on the right. That's how I see. Maybe that's the solution.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, I just got this feeling Mount would be. I think he'd do something for us tomorrow. I just think, because he's the only one I think that will go in and will do something. Try and disrupt it. The thing is, though, Jarvis, we can't trust him to last 60 minutes. I know we can't, mate. I know. I'm just trying to, like you. I'm just putting a footballing opinion out there. That's all I'm doing. We can't trust him for that. I don't think Ahmad's woken up yet this season at all.
No,
critical season. And I do believe you're right. I do believe we've got to do something to rediscover his mojo. I really do. And we've gone back. You mentioned something, actually. I'm going to, a few weeks ago, and I wanted to get your opinion on this. And you mentioned that we were going back into our older ways of doing what we want to do and how we want to play. And I'm wondering whether you feel that's what's dried up Sesko's goals.
It's not only Sesko's goals. It's, as I said, Ahmad's contributions.
But Sesko was 5 in 7? Was he 5 in 7?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, nothing. I just wondered about that.
Yeah, and also he comes in the end of the games, and then we go like we throw in the kitchen sink. We push more people up front.
Yeah.
So again, we play into Sesko's, his territory in a way.
Yeah,
Every time he starts, he can't get involved into the game. It's almost like the games goes past him.
So we're thinking he's better off coming off the bench.
I'm not a big fan of Sesko starting. No, not in the way we are playing right now, because Carrick's football is more about balance, and we are not giving him the best working conditions. Same with Ahmad. And I just want to bring this out for you guys, and maybe you'll find this interesting. It's Ahmad Yellow's attacking output that was stronger under Amorim than it's been under Carrick. So it's not me pushing an Amorim agenda. Amorim was a failure. I'm glad that he's gone. It would never have worked. But if you look at the touches in the attacking third, 28.8 compared to on the Carrick, 23.8 touches in the box, 5.8 against 4.8, shots 2.1 against 1.9. Not that biggest difference, but when you see chances created under Amorim 2.1 and on the Carrick 1.1. So the stats are clear. Ahmad is having a big drop off in his outputs.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've been quite vocal about it as well, haven't I? I said,
we talked about this, and when I saw this, I was just, this is what we have been talking about.
Yeah,
this is Ahmed's problem. This Carrick system doesn't suit him. It's not that I'm saying he's not a talented footballer, because he is. He's probably a magician, on the ball. He can dribble. He's our best dribbler.
He is, yeah. The ball sticks to his foot. He's got a lovely low centre of gravity, doesn't he? He runs the ball no more than 4, 5, 6 inches away from his feet at any time, and that's how a good dribbler should do it. My biggest problem's always been he doesn't take the last man on enough. Doesn't get to the byline, get a good cross. Tyrone get a good cross in, even with his right foot, even with his left foot. He's got to up his. I agree with you entirely with Sesko. I think Sesko's dropped off. I think his goal scoring threat's gone. We seem to have played differently around him. I totally agree. Carrick's game is a balanced game. Yeah. We're not finding him. Bruno's not finding him. Kobe's not finding him. And Buemo's not finding him. Cunha's not finding him. Nobody's finding him. But when we were a little bit more gung-ho 6 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, he was scoring goals. He was getting into the right areas and scoring goals. We were finding him. He was dangerous. We stopped that way of playing again. It goes back to what I was saying, Jarvis, right at the beginning of the show. Has Cunha been, has he aggravated an injury? Was he carrying an injury? And maybe it's been giving him discomfort for the last 2-3 weeks. We don't know, do we? We'll never know. But he's dropped off, hasn't he, Cunha? I think we'll all agree. Cunha's dropped off, and Buemo's fallen off a cliff compared to what he was. Completely fallen off a cliff. He's not the player. And I think you're right. We're limping over the line, really.
This has been one of my biggest criticism of Carrick. It's because I don't like his type of fluent front four. I would like to see more attacking patterns. And this is the type of patterns I talk about, the inverted fullback, opening up the passing lane and get the players in their preferred positions.
Well, one of the best players at doing that, Martinez, banned, injured. And there is mitigating facts that have stopped this. That stopped our fluency, but I just don't see us getting back, and so I think we will end up limping over the line. To be honest, pal, really, I really do. But that's fine.
Yeah. By the way, Trev, it's per 90. The output, so it's on average. It's an average stat. So, well, the selection of games is bigger under Amorim. So, okay, I get what you're saying.
I think, but I mean, you're right. It's the right thing to do. Yeah, Daz is right. He's not like the races, is he, Ahmad, at the moment? And
no,
it's disappointing.
But again, I hope we can have this debate, because for me, it's never about saying that Ahmad is a poor player. It's never about attacking Ahmad as a player, because he's one of my favorite players.
Yeah, I know he is. And
I say it for sure.
This is the thing about Mason Mount. for me playing Monday night, it's not about him being a bad player or a great player. I don't think he's a great player. I don't, pal. But there are certain games where he has an attribute that we have been missing. And that is a facial press, and I think he could help us. But, he won't do it, Carrick. The thing with Carrick at the minute, and I think this is why I'm getting a little bit annoyed about him, he's too predictable. He's almost gone back to Eric Ten Hag. How many times does it mean you say, well, we'll pick a team, shall we? No, but we won't do that. He'll do this. And we say the same with Amorim. He won't do that. He'll do this. I want to see what you're talking about there, pal, is Carrick taking a fucking risk. That's what you're talking about, isn't it? Carrick taking a risk.
Yeah.
We're not talking about Mount. I'm on about Carrick taking a risk. The coaching staff taking a risk. That's what I want.
100%, Stu, and this has also been one of my criticisms of Carrick. Is the risk taking. That's not the Man United way. I want us to take risks. I want us to push guys up into attack.
Yeah, take a player out.
5, 6 guys, whatever it takes. I want us to be on the front foot, control the game, try to dominate, do whatever we can to score goals. I want us to create chances, play expansive football. And, this is not the Steve Holland thing. I don't like what I saw with Steve Holland, the Southgate thing. You English guys have been suffering on the Southgate now for 10 years, with the biggest talents of the world. And they look like they are in a straitjacket, all of them. They can't express themselves. And for me, this is my biggest worries. As I said the other day, Carrick can stay on, but get him better coaches. Get him more expensive coaches that suits the Man United way.
Yeah, we are in a straitjacket. I think most of the fan base, Devilish Tacticos, I know, we're looking at, take a risk. Okay, if we end up losing the game, at least we've tried to play expansive football, exciting football, attacking football. Sir Alex always used to say, didn't he, if you're 1-0 down with 10 minutes to go, all right, you might lose 2-0, but fucking have a go. Try and win the game, but you might lose 2-0. Well, but you've got to win the game.
And I have no problems with us losing football games. As Northern always say.
Yeah.
It's the way you lose.
Yeah, and we're not losing, we're not doing anything.
You don't want to go out with a wimp. You want to go out with a bang.
With a bang, yeah. We're not doing anything the right way at the moment. I think, the coaching side, I think you're right, mate. I think we've got to go out and then we've got to find... Trev, last time he was in a straitjacket, he was in a padded cell. Trev, you fucking crack me up. The banter, the Devilish Tacticos are going to be on full flow. The other thing about Mason Mount, some of the guys have said about his disgrace getting him, the number 7 shirt. And I'm fully on board with that. The history of the number 7 is hugely important to me.
Yeah,
I've grown up with the number 7 being absolutely brilliant, and I don't think he deserves a number 7 shirt. I totally agree. I don't know how Michael Owen got ended up with a number 7 shirt either. Whether it doesn't mean much to the likes of Amorim and managers from another country, I don't know. But for us and real fans, the number 7 shirt's sacred. It really is. And Mount doesn't deserve it. No, he doesn't. And he doesn't deserve, actually, guys and gals, to play for Manchester United. We were duped. We were zipped by Chelsea, for sure. Chelsea saw us coming. Blueco were laughing all the way to the bank with that one, for sure. And we did the same to them with Garnacho. So we got our own back. But actually, guys, he has his uses, but on very, very small occasions. And Monday night could just well be one of those occasions where he would become useful. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he's the answer.
But for me, I would just keep Mason Mount fit. And hopefully we'll get rid of him in the summer. Can you imagine? Let's say if we got another injury, he's out 3 months. There goes the summer transfer window, stays on for another year.
Sorry, I didn't mean to put it in there, mate, but here's a really, really good question. Well, it's not a question, but It was a choice between him and Anthony at the time, no? The least worst option. Well, I think we fucked up on both. So there you go. But like I say, look, I totally agree with you, Jarvis. I think you're right. You keep him fit and you sell him. But I think tomorrow he could help us more than hinder us tomorrow. I guess that's what I'm saying. He could help us more than hinder us, because he's quite. I almost used the word industrious then. I think, fucking hell. I can't do that. So I didn't mean industrious, but like I say, there are occasions where, players can actually serve a purpose. Not many, but they can actually serve a purpose. And, we spoke about, actually, the interesting thing is we spoke about Mainey, didn't we, being off the pace 2 or 3 weeks ago. And in a Chelsea, wow. I mean, he was just fucking on a different planet. So was Heaven, wasn't he? So, it can change for these players. Maybe Ahmad comes in tomorrow night, Jarvis, and he has a, should we call it a Mainu moment or a Heaven moment? And he turns up.
He might. But as I'm just trying to figure out, I wrap my mind around what can we do. And Paul Tobin, I just want to say big up and thank you for all the comments and all of this.
He's great.
I see you talk about us being critical to Carrick. I think that's basically my job as a pundit or YouTube pundit or whatever you want to call it, content creator. I try to see where he can improve and what's his weaknesses and his strengths, and I want him to succeed. I want him to do well. But for me, when I find something to put my finger on, I'm looking for it, and I'm looking for him to see it himself and improve. And also, when the debate always is, it's all about vibes and feelings and all of this. I want to keep the debate on things, things that we can actually grab a hold of. How do we play out? What do we do with our attacking structure? Why do we play with balance all the time? Why can't he just release the hounds, sometimes and just have a go? And all of these things, in-game management and. This is where the debate lies, in the finer details. And, if he can't handle the criticism, Carrick is not the one. That's the thing. It's like a scientific, what's the scientific method? You just have to bank on until you, and if he can take it, that's good. That's good.
I think the good part about that question is, and there's another, Jaden's come up with a good comment as well, which we'll pull up in a minute, Jaden. And he says, has he got more to offer, Carrick? Well, that is the difficult question, Paul, because there's a part of me that would love him to succeed, because I do think ultimately, Carrick hasn't got the players to work with. So yes, he is limping us over the line for sure, 100%. But can he step up to be an elite coach? Because to coach Manchester United, you have to be at the elite level, and I guess that's what Paul's asking. And I've got my doubts, Paul. It's not because of anything that I'm seeing this season. It's from previous seasons with Middlesbrough, for example. Solid at the start. Yeah, that's the comment. Solid at the start and then dropped off towards the end. And we can't afford, Paul, to remain on the hamster wheel anymore. We've got to get off and we've got to be firm. So Jarvis's point about bringing in the right type of coaches, if you can get the right type of coaches, I totally agree with. But I'll always stick to my guns on what I feel is the best way for us. It won't happen, and I know it won't happen. You don't have to tell me it won't happen, everybody. I know it won't happen, but sometimes you've got to make things happen, not sit around and wait. And that's where Manchester United has failed recently. The Glazers failed us, and Sir Jim's failing us at the moment. We are not making things happen anymore. We made Andy Cole happen, remember? We made Eric Cantona happen. We made Roy Keane happen. We made Rio Ferdinand happen. We made all these great players happen, and it's not happening at this point in time. So we must if we do stick with Michael Carrick, then the board has got to say to him, you must bring in a higher quality coaches, higher caliber coaches. If we don't, and we bring in a manager, he must have the elite mentality to take us forward. Otherwise, we're having the same conversation, guys, in 2 years' time, 3 years' time. And I don't want that. That's a really good point. Do you want to put up Jaden's point again? Sorry.
Yeah.
So Jaden says, we all know the team has a lot of holes and that UCL qualification is the biggest objective at the moment. Why not wait to see what type of football we play if we get Champions League with a few games to spare? It's quite interesting. So I think what you're asking, Jaden, or saying is that if we win tomorrow night or get the result tomorrow night, will Carrick then take the handbrake off? Okay, that's a good question.
And start with the rebuild or whatever. Okay.
And I think we should... we'll pin that, Jaden, somehow. I don't know whether we can pin that, Jarvis, and maybe we'll talk about that at the end of the season, Jaden. I think it's a brilliant observation, straight comment. That's why I wanted to bring it up. I thought it was absolutely it's a good point. I like the point.
Yeah. And also this one from Tyrone watching Michael Olise, the other night, and the main difference how he has grown as a player, strong as a ball. His quality, it's powerful, and I agree, 100% good observation.
He's fantastic. I mean, he's what, top five players? Would you say?
Yes.
He's absolutely fantastic.
This is also I just want to a quick comment to Yala and say I'll get behind Carrick when I see him use the team, and I think they all want to get behind Carrick. It's the same under Ollie. We are emotionally attached to an ex-player, a legend, and I want him to succeed.
Yeah,
you need to use the full team. Yeah.
Tyrone agrees with you, by the way. We need elite coaches next to Carrick while he manages the team. Yeah, absolutely. Gary Sidhu says Man United needs someone with stronger tactical approaches for the Champions League next season. Carrick did a good job, but he's not capable of carrying the team in the US and the Champions League and League together. It's a good point, Gary.
100%.
I think it's a great point, well written, well argued. Danny B, here we go. Danny, I'm looking for your comment, mate, because I did see it. Bollocks.
Is this one?
No. So here we go. So, it's all right. So Danny was saying that it's like asking me to lay a brick with a butter and knife. Yeah, absolutely. Are you a bricklayer, Danny, by any chance? But he's asking the manager to progress with what we've got, the shit in the club, and I agree with that. I think it's a well-rounded statement. So, there's a lot to talk about, isn't there? But if you're new to the channel, by the way, me and Jarvis has been hugely vocal about this, and we feel that if we don't have a manager lined up next month, we don't have our top players lined up, our top targets lined up, we are going to be struggling when we come back in August, and we can't do that if we don't start strong. The league has told you, and it's proven over the last 5-6 seasons, if you don't start strong, you're not going to catch the top two, and it's proven with, 10 points gap or something like that. You're not going to catch the top two. So we must, if we're going to give Carrick the job. I mean, Jarvis did say the other night, didn't you, pal? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure you did. That if we win tomorrow night and we're guaranteed Champions League, an announcement should be made if you're going to keep him. Did you say that? Did I get that wrong?
Well, not in those words, but yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I'm paraphrasing. Yeah. Which I totally agree, because and that goes back to Gary's point. To Jane's point, doesn't it? About if it is, are we likely to see the leash? So possibly. Guys, just a reminder. Please like the video if you like. Me and Jarvis. If you don't like us, please like the video anyway. Just like the video. We're not here to upset anybody, to annoy anybody. We're just two old men with football opinions, and that's all it is. And we love doing what we're doing. We don't do it for the money. We don't do it for anything. We don't want to be recognised. We just love talking football and tactics. So if you do like what we do, we'd just love you to just hit the like button for us, please. We've also got Tactical Devils United. If you could go onto there, subscribe. It's our secondary channel. We won't be streaming live on there at all, but we are co-streaming. But if anything was to happen to our main channel, we would go straight across the Tactical Devils United. So if you could please subscribe and like any videos, it just helps me and Jarvis.
Yeah. Because this is Tactical Devils TV, and the other channel is Tactical Devils United. You will recognize it because it's the same logo. It's a blue background, the same as you see on this thumbnail. And by the way, guys, I have just posted the link to the live show on X. So if any of you have Twitter, X, press on that link, go over there and just retweet, because we are posting on the X Twitter at the same time. So it's also helpful, it helps us reach out to a new audience. And by the way, right now we have 56 people watching the show on X. So, all the retweets and likes helps.
I'll be 1 second, old mate. I've just got to pop somewhere. I'll be 1 second. Jake has been calling.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think? Yeah. So yeah, that's just my tactical approach when it comes to the game. And when we look at how they are, Brentford in possession, they build up in a 4-2. They do the short build up, and then they play direct into the forwards. They are not obsessed with control. They try to be efficient, when they progress the ball, and they also have I would say good outputs when it comes to the winger. If we go to FootMob, this is the predicted lineups. They haven't updated on the Cunha news yet, so you see they predict Lamens in goal, Dalot, Maguire, Heaven, and Luke Shaw. Casemiro, Mainu, Mbumo, Bruno, Cunha, and Sesko on top in a 4-2-3-1. When it comes to Brentford, we see Kelleher in goal, the ex-Liverpool reserve goalkeeper. I think the most dangerous player is Coyote. He's right back, but his throw-ins are the thing I would look out for. Vandenberg, Collins, Lewis Potter in the rest of the back four. Jarmoluk and Jensen, the Danish guy. I think he's a brilliant player. I rate him. And the danger guys is Ouattara, Damsgaard, and Schade. And you have, of course, Igor Thiago, the big Brazilian guy on top. But Damsgaard, he's like the Bruno Fernandez of Brentford. He almost have a free position, although they play very disciplined. He helps out in the midfield, going into attack on the wings, whatever, and very, very good player, the Danish guy. And Kevin Schade and Ouattara, they are strong wingers, goal threat, quick, pacey. They can whip in across and they can cut in and shoot. So again, there's always something with this Brentford team. They have quality, but mainly, they have six or seven defenders, and that's these guys who will be extremely disciplined and mostly defending the central area. And again, when you look at it, us with the fluent front four, how we are going to interchange and swap positions in that front against six guys, I don't see it happening. I can't see it happening. That's one of my criticisms of this system. We don't have enough people going forward. It's better with Mainu on the pitch, because Mainu usually after a while drops a little bit higher, almost level to Bruno. But yeah.
Just a quick one on the edge. We're not 100% sure, but it has been reported he's got a groin injury. But we're not 100% sure on that one. So just keep an eye on it tomorrow. But potentially he might not be available. One of the things that will go really unnoticed about Brentford tomorrow, by the way, is Lewis Potter. Now, that is one very, very underrated footballer.
Yes.
He's a very, very good player. I think he's great. He's, it's quite interesting. He's got one of those names that isn't flash, isn't. But he's a
Didn't he used to play as a winger before he came to Brentford?
He was a winger, and I'm just trying to think. He was in the Championship, wasn't he, or League One I think that's what they got him from.
He played for Hull.
Hull, that's him.
Yeah.
That's him. He's an Andy Robertson, funnily enough, type player. Lewis Potter. I think he's fantastic. ID, very, very underrated. I just wanted to make that point. I thought you're right about Damsgaard.
This is his output this season, by the way. Lewis Potter, 3 goals, 2 assists in 17 games.
Yeah, so I think 6.64. Then that's a bit low, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not good.
31 matches. Look, I like him. He'll add that. He does add that width. But the interesting player for me, outside of Damsgaard, is their record signing, Sade, Kevin. Sade, smooth operator. Smooth operator. That's what I'd be singing if I was him all the time. Anyway, sorry about my singing, everybody. Fucking up, Jarvis. We've gone from 96 viewers to 0 on my singing alone.
Yes, you single-handedly destroyed the channel. But
the channel is gone. What I like about him is he's hugely unpredictable for a player. Scores some really, really good goals. He's missed some easy chances this time, but he's one of those you don't know what you're going to get from him. I think he's very much a bit like Cunha at the moment, Jarvis. You don't know what you're going to get from him, but I like him. I like his attitude. His attitude is brilliant. He'll keep running all day long. He will cause us problems. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, look at this. It's in the 99th percentile when it comes to aerial duels won of the wingers.
Yeah, look at that.
Need I say more when it comes to throw-ins?
I know.
And set pieces.
It's crazy, isn't it? Yeah.
He will be up against Dalot. So Dalot will have a handful when Dalot needs to be disciplined and defending the back post.
Yeah, I think
you can't have him having deucing off and just sleeping.
He can't fucking defend. The trouble with Dalot is he can't. Sorry, Grace, but he can't defend the back stick. No, absolutely. Look again, Sade was 6.9.
7 goals, 3 assists in 28 starts.
And you only get 6.92 rating. Oh, there you go.
That is Brentford.
Yeah, well, they realise the problem, doesn't it? Paul was backing up, but Paul Tobin was backing up your statement, by the way, about Damsgaard. Runs the show. He's a very, very good player. We know that. He's killed us before, hasn't he, Damsgaard? So.
Yes, he did. He's
done it 3 times, Paul. He's a great player. Yeah. I totally agree with you. But
Gary,
do we not think that tomorrow will be interesting to see, actually, with what's hinging on the result, exactly how Carrick does approach it? And is he going to go for the throat to make sure that he qualifies for the Champions League as early as possible? Because that's what an elite manager would do. You know this, Jarvis. So we qualify tomorrow night, lads. That's it. We qualify as soon as we possibly can. We qualify. Or will he just continue to play his normal way? In which case, we will then plod through the rest of the season. That's what I'm looking at. It's an interesting question, isn't it? And it doesn't have an answer yet. So I'm quite looking forward to that. The Primate was in earlier. I did see the Primate. Good to see you again, pal. Big up. And he says we should piss it tomorrow. Well, I know he didn't say piss it, but I think he said we should win, something along those lines. So there you go. We should walk this one. I was playing. We should piss it. Yeah. So I like the Primate. He's always straight and to the point. No messing around.
He's Canadian, He's Canadian.
Yeah. Straight into the point. I do like that. Yeah,
Canadian,
Okay, so Nick thinks Carrick will be passive. I presume that's what he's saying. Nick, niche fan.
Nietzsche fan. Yeah,
niche
fan.
Niche,
or is it the philosopher Nietzsche?
Oh, it could be. It could be. By the way, have you said hello to Vicky tonight?
Vicky.
No, Vicky. You can't call her that. She doesn't like it when you call her. If you're listening, Vic. Because she listens. If you're listening, Vic.
In Norway, we don't distinguish between W and
you don't know, that's right,
no,
do you? And so you shouldn't, because actually you are Norwegian, old friend, and not British. So I just want to point that out to you. Just in case you didn't know, because your English is very good, fella. Very good.
Well, Well, thank you.
Brilliant.
Gary comes in and say Brighton has dismissed suggestion that Manchester United could sign Carlos Baleba for less than 60 million, with sources close to the club insisting the midfielder will not be sold below 80 millions.
Wow.
Thank you, Gary, for bringing this up. It was a great segue because I was planning to talk a little bit about Carlos Baleba. And also this report came in. Baleba Brighton have now opened the door for a potential Carlos Baleba sale this summer, with Manchester United preparing a bid. So, it's a nothing report. It's a boring report. But again, I think we have come to the stage where we are discussing the price. And
could we send Mason Mount that way? Gets rid of
I don't think Brighton is mugs. They're not mugs.
I was waiting for you.
I'm not even joking.
No. It's the way you looked at me. You go, how do I reply to that one? Brilliant. I like that one. No, they're not mugs. No, you're absolutely right. Yeah,
no. But talking on Baleba, I was watching Rich show. I think it was this morning or was it yesterday morning. No one has mentioned this when it comes to Brighton and Baleba, because Brighton are sitting now 6th or 7th in the league. So if they do their job and win their games, they will qualify for Europe next season. And my bet is Brighton won't sell Baleba cheap if they qualify for Europe, because suddenly they need him. And the money they can bring in with Baleba in the team could be more than the money they could bring in by selling Baleba. And we know that Brighton struggled last time they qualified for Europe. They had a hell of a lot of injuries under the Serbi, like 10, 15 players out at one time. And again, I think Brighton qualifying for Europe could be the Baleba deal is off for us.
No, I think our saving grace is okay. Let me take that back. I don't mean our saving grace. What I mean is, I think there's a gentleman's agreement between him and Brighton that if we put in a bid deemed acceptable to Brighton, 80 million, say for argument's sake, I would say it's 80 million euros, then he would be allowed to leave. I would suggest that deal that when we went in for him in the summer, and there was a lot of talk, wasn't it? He down tools. He did down tools. We saw it. Starting to play a little bit better at the minute. Baleba is starting to refine his form. Wanted United. I think maybe there's a gentleman's agreement in there that suggests if we do, I think it's very, very similar to what we did with Ronaldo and Real Madrid. We need you here for one more season. It's an interesting theory. With regards to, because Brighton are
it's not a theory, it's just no one has mentioned it.
No, I think it's an interesting theory. I mean, they're sitting 6th, they're 8 points off of 5th, so it's going to be an absolute astronomical collapse.
Yeah, they can't get Champions League, but Europa League means at least an extra 12 games.
Yeah, because they're conference this
15 games.
Yeah. But they've got the player. They've got the player everybody wants at the minute, haven't they? And that's Danny Welbeck.
Yeah,
they've got that player. They do. He comes on again, fucking scores an absolute perler. Can't play 2 games in a week. We know that, but Jesus Christ, imagine Welbeck coming off the bench this season for us. Can you imagine that? Seriously,
I would take him.
So who wouldn't? I mean, the kid should be the kid. He should be going to the World Cup. He probably won't, but he should be going to the World Cup. And this is the thing about the way that Brighton play. The other thing, Jarvis, is I guarantee you now, mate, that rather like Bournemouth, who'd already got Rossa ready for when they decided to make, the announcement of Iraola 2 weeks later, Rossa's in. So they were talking to Rossa months ago, obviously. So everyone knew what was going on. Brighton are exactly the same when it comes to selling players. They won't make a decision in the summer because they won't have the time to go and get who they want. If they've made the decision to let him go, they'll have somebody lined up already.
Yes,
because that's what they do. So,
well, we say so, but I don't think it's that easy. They have a good scouting system. I
it
know
is
they
about
have a
reason,
player like,
yeah.
for example, Mats Weifer, the guy they signed from the Dutch league a year ago.
Yeah,
He's hardly played. He was player of the year, I think, in the Eredivisie when they signed him from PSG. Fantastic player. So
Yeah.
you know they always have replacements ready to come into the team. So again, but then I started thinking, okay, maybe they can play Mats Weifer, but again, they are going to play 2 games a week because of Europa League, and they can't start every game.
No, but Brighton are in a position to go ahead and get Fernandez out of West Ham, go and get Gomez out of Wolves, go and get Bueno out of Wolves. They're in a position to be able to do that. If they finish 6th, they're in a position to go and be able to get what they want. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That is the thing. Look, I don't think 80 million is right for Baleba. I didn't think he was right for Baleba. I didn't. I thought 60 was about bang on for him.
I'm just mentioning Tchouaméni. 70 millions has been mentioned.
I don't know about Tchouaméni.
Okay, the salary will be way higher, but again,
I don't know about Tchouaméni. Look, there's no denying he's a quality footballer, and we know he's had injury problems. But there are players out there, don't they, that get injured, Jarvis. We've seen it, throughout the history of football. But I think we're in a situation. I think we're at a stage in the rebuilding of the club that we've still got to shop local again this year, as for the really important places and pieces of the team. We've got to shop local. But I agree with you. I think Tchouaméni at 70 million is great. Can we trust him?
Yeah.
I'm not saying we can't, buddy, but
France. He will play for France. He will go into the World Cup.
You got to get him.
It will be a
before,
tough signing to do. We won't sign him before the World Cup. So again, it will be a never-ending saga going on until the last couple of weeks of the window.
Yeah, I don't think we can afford to do that.
No,
I don't think we can afford to do it, pal. So I agree with you. I don't think there's any problems with him. But again, we've got May. If we don't stop dicking about and start being serious in May, we could be in a world of pain, Jarvis, come July.
He sounded Jamaican.
Jamaican.
Like, come on.
I'm not very good with any accents whatsoever. I'm really. The other play we could take a punt on is our mate Schmidt, the old Dutch midfielder. The 20-year-old ginger lad.
Yes.
Yes.
But we can't pick him up out of the Ajax team.
God,
do we need a ball playing type of? I don't know if you guys know about him, the young midfielder who plays for Ajax. He plays for the Dutch national team. Fantastic player. Yes. Very good on the ball. Very. What's his name?
Very calm on the ball.
Frankie de Jong-esque.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Very
superb on the ball. Yeah. That's the Brighton signing. It's not Man United signing.
No, it is. I mean, there's always a joke around, isn't there? Forget Baleba. They go and buy who Brighton was.
They did with Caicedo, so
they've done it all the time, haven't they? Brighton always do it all the time. So
yeah,
they do occasionally. Yeah, I mean, we're not fans of Camavinga anyway, are we? I don't think we have been. So
yeah.
Look, the thing about Tchouaméni will be, in my opinion, if either Rodri goes to Madrid, or because he hasn't signed his contract yet. I know he's injured anyway, isn't he, at City, but he's not signed his contract. Or Enzo Fernandez goes. That might hamper Tchouaméni. I don't know, but it might do.
It was Hausen. Hausen actually, Steve Hausen, he actually had an interesting observation, and he said he suspected that Tchouaméni would be better in the Man United system than the Real Madrid system because he will play a lot deeper in the Man United system and give more space.
What's he basing that on, though?
I don't know. Steve Hausen, he knows his football.
No. I'm not saying he doesn't know his football, but you're basing that on a Carrick manager or another.
On a Carrick manager, obviously. This is what we got. And I think we all feel that at least there's a 90% certainty that Carrick will stay on.
Where did they get Chichimani from?
It came from, was it Monaco?
I was going to say, was it Monaco?
Yeah. RC Lens or
something like that.
Rennes or something. Yeah.
Okay.
There's another update here from Gary coming in and saying Manchester United have shown strong interest in Nathaniel Brown, the Eintracht Frankfurt defender.
I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen this link with that.
I don't trust the Bundesliga one bit.
I have seen it. I have seen it linked. Yeah, Gary's right there. I've seen that. I'm not so sure. I don't know. Again, Gary, for me, the problematic areas for us right now in the middle of the park, and more than likely, because I'd be amazed if Delic comes back. Although he's been seen on the grass, hasn't he? This week and last week, is centre half, and I think you've just got to go Premier League proven in those positions, particularly for me. That's all. I know there's some great players out there, Stiller being one of them.
Yes,
fantastic talent. Schmidt being one, fantastic talent. But when you look at the Premier League, you look at West Ham. You love Fernandez, don't you, from West Ham?
Yes, one of my favorite players at the moment. When it comes to, if you are going to rank all of these midfielders, he's at least top 3 of them for me. By the way, Gary, I love that you post latest news and stuff like that. But can you do me a favor and just post in the source afterwards so we know who we can refer it to? Because a lot of these outlets, IDKs, and all of them, some of them I trust, some of them I don't. So I know how certain the rumor is. So, but thank you for doing it. But
they're great. Great.
Something the source that would be great.
Again, Tyrone's talking about. I did see Johnny Commode post it in our group chat about Edison, didn't he? Posted, but they're still talking quite a lot of money for him, aren't they? 40-50 million euros.
Yes, that was the news that came out yesterday about Ederson. But the thing with Ederson is cheap. It's 45 million euros.
45 mil, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. The thing is, we could go for 2 mid-level signings. Now I'm talking about the value. So let's say 65, 70 million, or we could go for 1 high, 1 low. For example, 120 million and 30 millions.
Do you know what I think with Ederson? I think we're 2 years too late.
Yeah.
I think we're 2 years too late. We spoke about him 2 years ago, and I'd have taken him all day long 2 years ago. I think
when he played under Gasparini for that Atalanta team that won the Europa League.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, top drawer, one of the best in the world at that particular time. I know Mark. If you know Mark from United Lens, he'll be on our next Jarvis Corner. He talks about Ederson a lot. He loves him, doesn't he? Really, really rates him. In fact, he rates him the same that I rate the old. Well, there's only one player for me, wasn't there? Before Palini, it was Brozovic, and we never got either of them. I was crying when we never got Brozovic. I was crying when we never got Palini. Jarvis has been crying because we never got Berg.
Yes, Sander Berg.
Mark's crying because we never got Ederson. Oh dear. Oh, crikey.
But we also have that Inter midfielder who I think he was out of contract this season. What's his name? The Turkish name, not Kalioglu, Kalanoglu. Is that his name? He's a proper DM. If you're looking for a solid DM who could come in with Premier.
Is it the guy that Tyrone's mentioned?
Yes.
Kalioglu.
Yes.
Yeah, well done, Tyrone. You can always rely on Tyrone, can't you? He's all
great minds think alike. Yes. Speak up, Tyrone.
Yeah, again, there are obviously players that come in from other leagues that thrive, don't they? All the time. But I just don't think Manchester United can risk could take a risk. I think we need Premier League proven.
But the thing is, too, if I want to sign players from other leagues, I need to see certain things. I need to see them being good at getting themselves time on the ball.
Yeah.
And you do that by a good first touch and great movement.
Yeah.
So again, I need to see. If I see a player, coming from the Bundesliga with fantastic dribbling skills, okay, but it doesn't tell me much. I want to see people who have all the time in the world when they are on the ball, because then I know they will adapt to the Premier League quicker, because the pace of the Premier League has gone up by tempo has gone up by 20% since 2020. So again, the league is getting faster and faster, and the thing is, when things goes faster, you don't have time on the ball. You need to create that time yourself by being astute.
Yeah, and I'm kind of with you on that one, because that's what I look for. I look for somebody who can take the ball under pressure, who's got the balls, to take the ball, who wants to take the ball, but can find space to receive the ball and then deliver it. I always talk about intelligence in the game. I really do. An intelligent pass, by the way, is 5 yards occasionally. It's not. It doesn't have to be a fucking 30-yard Hollywood ball or a 50-yard one. An intelligent pass is someone, is a 5-yard ball, and then looking for to either receive it or to move into space or to create space for the player that you're given the ball, so he can move into space. That's intelligence in football. You don't have to be. It's not rocket science. I mean, crikey, if I sprint in a game of football, it's too much for me. I can't cope. I have to have a lie down if I had to sprint, because I try and play the game with up here now, because I can't play it down there anymore with pace. You said so yourself. We can't. At my age, I can't do it anymore. And I love that side of the game. I love the thought process of football. That's what really intrigues me about the game. 56 years old, 48 years old, me and Jarvis are still learning about the game. Every time we talk to each other, we talk to you guys in the chat, I'm still learning about the game. Listen to other people's opinions and the way that we view the game that we love, the way that you talk about it. When you were talking about it tonight, I'm listening, I'm going, absolutely. And I'm thinking, how would I bypass that? What would I do? And that's what that's what I like about what we do. I start thinking a bit more, open my eyes a bit more about the game, and what would I do and how could I do it? So,
yeah, I agree, Stu. I agree. Well, Gary, we are not an Arsenal channel, so.
Oh, sorry, Gary, you were not an Arsenal channel.
But I have to be honest. I find Arsenal. It's a hard watch at the moment, because I find their Arteta football. It's not good on the eye, to be honest. They have their moments, but again, I think it's too balanced. It takes too long on the throw-ins, takes too long on the set pieces. So again, and especially now when Saka is out, I feel they don't have the X factor anymore. It's a little bit too boring for me. Yeah, but that's just my personal opinion.
Gary, you an Arsenal fan? If you are, just tell us, because obviously everybody's welcome in this channel, by the way, mate. Everybody, because we're a Manchester United channel, but we're a football channel. There's too many players I think have dropped off for them. Ødegaard, I know he's been injured, but Ødegaard being one, Martinelli being another. Havertz is a big loss for them at the moment. Gyökeres has been woeful for them. Saka's a big loss for them. They can't seem to defend at the minute for Toffee. Just something isn't right with Arsenal at the moment, and I don't know whether they're tired, but they're so monotonous to watch.
Yeah, that's the thing, monotonous. Yeah,
they don't excite you, do they? And that's funny enough, actually. When we go back to Brentford, Jarvis, what you're talking about, the way that they play in an exciting way, don't they? Because they're full on. They're just full on in your face all the time. And it makes the game exciting. And Arsenal they're drab. Sorry, Gary, I'm not having a pop at Arsenal at all, mate. No. Again, if you're an Arsenal fan, we're not having a go.
It's just a footballing opinion, and we are Man United fans, so maybe you're a little bit biased. I just want to say one thing when it comes to Matheus Fernandez, Stu, and I have a comparison with him and another ex-Man United player. He reminds me of good old Paul Ince on the ball.
Oh, well, can I just tell you something before you go any further? I modelled my game on Paul Ince because he obviously came before Roy Keane, where someone else playing centre midfield. So I know a lot about the way that Ince used to play because I used to model my game on that. But it's a really interesting comparison, actually. Very interesting.
The reason I say this is because when Matheus Fernandez is on the ball, he's an all-action type of midfielder.
Yeah.
And Paul Ince is an all-action type of midfielder. And he's not afraid. Paul Ince was not afraid when he received the ball. He was not afraid. He was very energetic with his body, and even though he didn't have he wasn't the paciest guy on the pitch, he was never afraid to drive with the ball. Because if someone came, he just pushed them away, with his body. He was very energetic with his body.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, this is what I see with Matheus Fernandez. He has the right attitude as a potential Man United player. He's not afraid to take the game by the scruff of his neck and do something with the ball. I like players who actually can do this, not being afraid.
So that's a really interesting comparison, because what you've said about Paul Ince and the way he drove up the pitch, many people forgot that. They used to see
he's so underrated. He's so underrated.
And the interesting thing about Ince was it wasn't pace, it was stride. Yeah. He used to open his legs quite wide. It sounds horrible, doesn't it? But he used to he almost used to gallop across. But he was very powerful when he was running, and he would elbow people out the way. Brilliant in the tackle. Absolutely superb in the tackle. Strong as an ox in the tackle. But he could pass the ball as well. He could pass his all-round game. I hadn't looked at Fernandez and Matheus Fernandez in that way, actually. So when I West Ham play again, I'm gonna watch out for that. I've not looked at that. It's a great spot. But I love Paul Ince, because if you think about when I was playing in my 20s, that's when Paul Ince was in and around, wasn't it? West Ham, and then of course at Man United. Forget Inter Milan, and didn't he play for?
He played for Liverpool.
Didn't he play in that championship team? What's it called? Accrington Stanley or somewhere like that. Yeah, that mob in red. And people just had a real pop at him and stuff of that nature. But look, I loved Paul Ince. I thought he was absolutely great. The biggest compliment Paul Ince could get was Fergie and his opinion. But I like somebody. I've always said to you about footballers, haven't I, that a bit like Eric Cantona, that walk in and he's not afraid of anything. And he called himself the governor. And as arrogant as that is, you've got to doff your cap to somebody who considers himself to be way above anybody else in the room. You just have to doff your cap to something like that. Gary said, Sadu, by the way, Gary did ask us about what's our opinion on West Ham. Tottenham. Do you think they're going to go down? Now, we spoke about this last week, Gary, and yours truly said they would stay up. And my mate to the left, as I look, said they were going to go down. And I don't know whether to change my opinion or not, because they're in the same position as they were. They're still 2 points trailing West Ham, and they are running out of games. So
it's getting we are seeing a drama. I was glued to the TV screen watching the West Ham game, and I was watching the Spurs game at the same time. Switching in between, and West Ham had a late winner, and again, I was just sitting there and thinking for myself, Bowen, he's got this, Jared Bowen, what a freaking player! How underrated is Jared Bowen from a scale from 1 to 10 in the Premier League?
Look, if Liverpool, I'm sorry, guys, and this is if Accrington Stanley, Liverpool, don't go in for Jared Bowen as a contender to replace Salah, they're off the fucking tree. I'm sorry, he plays exactly the same position. He's as good as, and he's been playing in a much poorer team, a weaker team, for a long time. He's absolutely brilliant. I mean, I just don't get it. I just would not get it. And I want to. It's just me come up with absolute pearler, because this is exactly what I think. There's no personalities in the game. I've spoken about this so many times, haven't I, pal? no mavericks anymore, no personalities anymore in the game. They're all fucking boring robots, posers. I mean, Jesus Christ, did anyone watch any League Two games? If you watch League Two games now, you look at some of the managers. They're fucking in white fucking slip trainers, no fucking socks, trousers up by their ankles, tight fucking t-shirts. I mean, for fuck's sake, what is going on? So I agree. It's just me. There is no personalities. Where are they? Nobody liked Mario Balotelli, but he was a real personality. Nobody liked him. There's been loads, hasn't there? Real personalities that I don't know.
No,
I just like the point. I thought it was a great point.
I agree. But I want to go back to the relegation drama quickly before we move on, because I want to talk next on the Calvert-Lewin hair pull. Yes. So again, you see now West Ham is on 36 and Spurs are on 34. 6 goals better goal difference for Spurs. So that's almost the point, If West Ham draws and Spurs win, Spurs are saved. So again,
you know what? I don't.
4 games left.
I wouldn't rule out Forest still teetering. I think Leeds have probably pulled themselves safe. Newcastle and Palace are okay, but who've Tottenham got next? Let's see who Tottenham have got next.
Let's check it out. So let's just go to Spurs.
If you get Tottenham's fixtures, I'll get West Ham's off.
So Spurs, they have okay. What do we have here? It's Aston Villa coming up next, and then they go home against Leeds, away against Chelsea, and the last game is Everton home. So there's no easy fixtures, but again, not many of these teams are actually in anything, fighting for anything. So
no, I mean West Ham's, they've got Brentford next. Then they've got
Arsenal. The Villa game will be difficult away. You have Spurs, Leeds, Chelsea, and Everton. So on paper, it's difficult games.
It's difficult for West Ham as well because they've got Brentford away Saturday. Then they're at home to Arsenal on the 10th. Then they're away to Newcastle and home to Leeds. So do you know what? It could be. It's a tricky one. I think Tottenham. Yeah, Tottenham.
How many points do you think you need? 6 points out of the last 12.
You need 6, at least. I think.
I think 6 will be sufficient because Spurs won't win all 4.
I think they'll get 3, West Ham. 3 points. I think they'll draw against Brentford, Leeds, Newcastle, lose to Arsenal. I think they'll get 3 points. Looking at that, I think West Ham get 3 points. I think they draw with Brentford, lose to Arsenal because Arsenal have got to win. They've got no choice. I think they draw with Newcastle, and I don't think they beat Leeds either. I can't see them getting any more than 3 points.
West Ham.
Yeah. What do you think? I mean, they are. I think
they will at least get 6 points. At least 6.
Who do you think they'll beat?
They
won't beat Brentford away.
Newcastle, and Leeds. That's 6 points.
Do you think they'll beat Newcastle away?
Yeah. I think Newcastle are falling apart right now. I saw them against Arsenal. Newcastle are up.
Oh yeah, they were poor. They were poor.
They are a poor team at the moment.
It'd be interesting to see. I'm going to go. I'll tell you what. I'll stick with my 3. I'm going to go with 3 draws and a loss. That's what I think.
Okay. Who knows? It's coming from a cynical point of view and angle. What's better for us? Spurs going down or West Ham going down? And who can we just pillage for players, and just take Matheus Fernandez, Bowen, Mavropanos, whatever, Somerville.
I think what's better for us is West Ham going down. What's great for the comedy value is Tottenham going down. But what's bad is that Tottenham will never recover. If they go down into the Championship, they'll be absolutely stained for life as a club, because you're not talking first division down to second division, which happened. It happened to us. It's happened to everybody. You're talking Premier League. You're talking a stage in football in terms where that should never happen. A club of stature of Tottenham go down. I think the Premier League will have to really, really look at the way they've gone about shaping the league at this point in time. Could we pillage Tottenham? I doubt Tottenham will let the players go.
No, that's the thing. That's the thing.
There won't be a relegation clause in any of their contracts. So they'll all be on big money still. There won't be a relegation clause whatsoever. And they won't allow players just up and leave. They won't do it. You've got us in this mess. You're going to be playing Championship football. They won't be easy to negotiate. If these players want to go, then we are the people. Clubs will have to pay big money because Tottenham's loss of revenue, and most of these are under contract, I would imagine.
Yes.
I'd imagine Van der Ven's got 3 years left on his contract. Porro, I think they're all heavily contracted, I would imagine.
Again, you say loss of revenue, and that's one thing, but they still have a worldwide fan base.
But
they're not only based in London. I think that's West Ham's biggest problem. If they go down, they are in a way a local club.
Yeah, Spurs they've got a parachute payment and all of that. But it won't be easy to pillage Tottenham. I can tell you that for nothing. It just won't, because they'll have to maintain.
So we should actually root for West Ham going down if we want.
I think West Ham is the best option. Yeah, for ease of use of players. Chances are, West Ham have got a relegation clause in their contracts. But Tottenham, no chance. Not a fucking hope. If you looked at, it's like us. If you looked at any of our players, there's not a hope. There's a relegation clause in there. No chance.
No,
it's unthinkable. But and it won't be with Tottenham. So if, like I say, if Van der Ven's got 2 years left, he's going to hold a high value. Same with Porro. Same with Xavi Simons.
Yeah.
Whoever.
Did you see his injury? I think he.
Yeah.
Have you seen any reports? Did he tear his ACL or?
I haven't seen an update on it. I was too busy opening my eyes to the fact that Donald Trump almost got it again. We shouldn't laugh at that, really, should I?
No.
That's been the big news there. Don't know. I think it's a bad one, isn't it? I don't know, but
I don't even. I only watch footballing news. I don't watch the news.
Yeah, same. I think Tottenham going down is not great for the Premier League, by the way.
No.
It says a lot about teams. It says a lot about everything you need to know about football and the money side of it. But I think Tottenham would be very, very, very hard to negotiate. Daniel Levy was there. He would want top draw. But there's no way in a million years those players would leave, because he wouldn't let them. He just wouldn't. Fuck it. You're contracted. Fuck off. Get out of my office. He would. It's what Daniel Levy did. You're not going anywhere, mate. Unless you can get me 100 million. Oh no, fuck off. You're contracted for 2 years. It's your fault we're down here. And by the way, I would, and I'm a big advocate of that. If you go down with a relegated club, there's no way you should be allowed to move. That's all. You should, you should stay and put it right. In my opinion,
depends if the club wants you. But
they should.
In respect to the players who stays, Del Piero, for example, when Juventus was relegated because of the scandal.
Yeah.
He didn't leave.
He didn't. I mean, Del Piero was a one club man, wasn't he? He didn't leave. Yeah. And he got a lot of, people appreciated that about him. And the players today, Jarvis, they don't give a fuck anyway, do they? So these Tottenham players, I can't imagine exactly, Yala. I can't imagine.
That's almost the same as Man United, or maybe more. think we are about 200, 230 or...
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Yoro, they've got Tottenham are very well funded. Don't they sell out the stadium, a lot, don't they, for concerts and fights, and they're very, very well funded beyond the Premier League. But yeah, I would imagine Tottenham will play hardball if they go down. I guarantee. I would. You'd have to. You'd have no choice, and they'll have enough money to be able to do that.
I see Danny mentioning Pedro Porro as a potential. I think he would fit us perfectly. I would go for Pedro Porro if possible. And also, we have heard the rumors with Van der Ven, and Das is also mentioning Van der Ven. But besides them, there's no one I rate.
Yeah, Tottenham they've literally got themselves to blame. They've only got themselves to blame. The players have only got themselves to blame, and that's up to them. They're going to have to deal with it. I think they'll stay up. Looking at what West Ham have got to do, so I don't think there'll be an issue. But I just think it's soft, absolutely soft. I feel a bit sorry for the derby, really.
Guys, I can't play this because it's so up in the news today, so we will probably get flagged if I play anything. But let me just scroll to the frame for frame. So you see here Calvert-Lewin chasing Cucurella, and in this situation, and look at his hand. I think he tries to put his hand on his shoulder, or maybe he's just grabbing his hair. I don't know. And Cucurella, he feels this and instantly tries to get loose. And if you look at this picture here, I think this is the most telling. You see he grabs his hair, or at least get his fingers tangled into the curly hair of Cucurella. So again, you see, and then he releases hardly any pull. It's Cucurella running away, but again, it's the same with Martinez. And Cucurella, he makes a meal of it, and he grabs his head and throws himself down on the floor. So that's the situation, guys. So I don't know if you saw it, Stu.
Yeah,
but 13 days ago, Lisandro Martinez, he touched Calvert-Lewin's man bum, or what do you ever call it, and it was violent conduct by VAR. It was given a red card against Martinez, and since then we have had 4 similar incidences like this.
At least 3. At least 3.
So again, we saw the Gabriel against Haaland.
Oh yeah.
So again, where's the consistency, and what the hell is VAR doing at the moment?
Well, there's a couple of things about this particular one. If you judge the distance between all of those, apart from the Cucurella, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, there's a good 10 yards between them when Cucurella decided to go down, or 5 yards between them. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't the referee in today's semi-final the
Graham Scott?
Yeah, wasn't he the VAR guy for Manchester United Leeds?
Didn't
he do
someone in the chat knows? I'm not sure.
I could be wrong, but I thought I could be wrong, but I think he's the VAR guy that gave the red card, because I heard somebody talking about it today, and they were saying that particular referee would not want a hair pulling incident today, and I'm wondering if he was the one that was that gave. Daz thinks it's him. Yeah.
Okay. So, big up that.
Which makes it even worse.
Yeah.
Which if that is the case, it makes it even worse. So forget that. That is criminal. So. Look.
But the thing is, where do we go from here?
Well, I don't think you can. The trouble is, I don't think you can. You can't go right and sue the PGMOL. You can't do it because we can't prove loss of earnings. or anything of that nature. But the inconsistency is absolutely fucking. Yeah, it is. It was him, Jarvis.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. That makes it even worse.
Yeah, it's. I don't know actually. This is one of those conversations, Jarvis, where I think we're all a bit of a loss for words, because how can you debate it? How can we debate the incorrectness of this? Because we all know that what do you say? Seriously, pal, what do you say?
Well, I can go in a rant. It pisses me off. It pisses me off. It's a disgrace, and the referee should take a hard and long look at themselves in the mirror and figure out, what the hell am I doing? Why did I do that? They need to learn. But we have Howard Webb. No, what's his name? The boss of the PGMO. Howard Webb, yeah, boss of the PGMOL. He's running this shit show, and the thing is, he should take charge or resign, because this can't go on.
Yeah, he should have come out tonight and said.
Keith Hackett was right on the money when he talked about Howard Webb and the inconsistencies of the game now. And we see all these ex-referees, Keith Hackett, Clattenburrow, all of them coming out and criticizing how the PGML is run at the moment and why they can't keep things consistent. So for me, this has to stop. This has to stop now. And the worst thing is they doubled down on Martinez when we tried to get the red card reversed. They doubled down, and they did the same on Maguire.
The problem is, pal, is we've got no recourse. We've got no recourse. We can't go anywhere with it, because you can't take them anywhere. There's nowhere for us to go, because the PGMOL operates separately to the Premier League. You can look. We've said for a long time, haven't we, for years, the ref comes out and apologizes for making a mistake during a big game. Well, what's the point in that? You can apologize for all you like, but you made the error. You shouldn't be making the error in the first place. Howard Webb should have come out tonight, and look, I reviewed today's game. There was a problem with the hair pulling incident, which I've reviewed, and Mr. Scott will not be officiating for the remainder of the season, either in VAR or on the pitch. And that's
or they can admit the mistake on Martinez and say, we made a mistake on Martinez. This is not the precedence of how we want to conduct the game. We will remove Martinez's ban and just take the L.
Yeah, but they won't.
As I said, he said it after the Leeds game. They painted themselves into a corner, and they have nowhere to go.
Biggest corner. They've backed themselves into the biggest corner ever. But like you say, since Martinez, we've seen 3 other incidences. Of hair pulling. 4, but the worst, we saw it. The next match, didn't we? Brentford Fulham. We saw it. Look, it's just wrong, isn't it? It's just wrong. It boils my blood, old friend. It does.
But, as I said, it feels like it's borderline. It's corruption. It feels like
it is cheating. It is corruption. It's cheating. It just is. It's cheating. Look, you even breathed around Cucurella, who's going to go down, but he, on this occasion, he's in the right to do it.
Yeah,
he's had his fucking hair pulled, whether it's a little tug or not. If you base it on Martinez, who, by the way, was doing that. Was just grasping for something to get hold of. All he was doing was trying to get hold of the top of the shoulder. He just got it wrong. Whereas Calvert-Lewin, right behind him. Yeah.
Yeah, but what's the pull? Are you not allowed to touch the hair? For me,
if you put up that picture,
for me personally, maybe none of them was a red card.
No, none of them are. If you put up that picture that you've just got up there, put that picture back up. Look at the way where Martinez is looking. Now, at the minute,
and he won the ball. He won the header.
Cucurella, DCL is looking away from Cucurella, but he's got hold of him. He's got hold of his hair, but he was looking at him when he started grabbing his hair. Martinez wasn't. Martinez is looking at something completely different. Anyway, none of them are, get on with it. I mean, to me, just get fucking on with it. It's too much. It's too much. They're so fucking lightweight, today's footballers. It's terrible.
Yes. A lot of good comments, guys, and most of you agree with us. The game is gone. It's a joke. It's a joke.
Yeah, it's gone. It is, and but if you've got no recourse, you can't do anything. Once they say no, i.e., they don't agree with your repeal, you can't go anywhere.
No.
So,
but they need to what's the name? Reassess or assess themselves and try to figure out how they can do it better.
Excuse me.
Yeah, you're tired, Stu. You're
I
tired.
am. I was a bit of a late one last night. Bit of a late one.
Okay.
So anyway. Moving on.
Do we have time for a couple of questions and then do the score predictions?
Yeah, do the questions. And we need to decide also what we're doing tomorrow. Are we going to go live after the game? Be a late one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, not a long one, maybe 30 to 45 minutes. Yeah.
And maybe do a Tuesday show?
We might do a Tuesday show, yeah.
Okay. Let's have a look what we got question-wise.
And if you have any other questions, please feel free and bring on the questions. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some good questions actually. Let's have a look. Okay. Paul says, good question is, do we have a set formation that suits the players that we have available, and can we be successful? We seem to be short all over the pitch. I like the question. Do we have a set formation that suits this shower that we've got at the moment? Interesting. I think a couple of players we're playing out of position. Jarvis knows. I think Cunha shouldn't be played out wide left. He should be played more as an 8 because that's where he's more effective.
Or the Amorim 10 is
or the Amorim 10. Or the Amorim 10. He should be playing there because I think he's more effective. I don't like the way that we play out from the back. Jarvis is a big fan of that. I don't. We just view that side of the game differently. I want to see us be a lot more proactive in terms of our passing, short and long. Our short game needs to be improved, and our long game needs to be improved. But more importantly, I want to see us attack the byline. And if you watch all our shows going backwards, and I always talk about attacking the byline. Now, it's old school football, but it adds a penetration that a lot of teams don't do right now. And I think we've got the players to attack the byline. I think we've got the speed in there. We've got some good finishes, and we don't do that. So I don't think Carrick is playing to our strengths. He's playing to the way that he likes to play, not the way that I think suits our players. And that's my argument.
Yeah, good question and good
answer.
It's a great
question. Love the question. What do you think, Carl? Well, I know you view it differently, which is great.
Well, it's always difficult because you have 11 players, 11 individuals coming into a system designed by one coach, and no system is perfect for all the players. Then you have to have all the money in the world and be like PSG or something. You can or Manchester City, and you can buy whoever you like. Then you might make it happen. We have seen some perfect systems. Maybe the Barcelona under Pep was one of them.
Yeah.
Now you see the PSG system. But again, you need to get the right profiles in. We're not playing into the players' strengths at the moment. I think Dalot is waffling every time he goes forward. I say Ahmad is not in his best position. He never gets set up 1-against-1 because we're not good enough shifting the play. Attracting the opposition to one side, shifting it to the other, set up Ahmad 1-against-1. We set him up 1 against 2. And, that's not his strength. As you said, Cunha, I think that's a good example. Sesko is another one. We never crossed the ball. So again, but we set up the system to suit certain players and the most effective players like Bruno. So again, Carrick, he just going with what Oli started with this Bruno Fernandez number 10 role, and it clearly works. He has an output.
But you're limited. It does limit you, doesn't it, a little bit?
Yeah. But as I just wanted to say, when it comes to the modern day of football, Stu, you mentioned you want us to be more direct, play over and not play out from the back. But if you know how football has evolved, even this season, now football has evolved almost when the press. Before the teams was always going to be compressed. The distances between the lines was always going to be at least no more than 15 yards, 10 yards, the max. Yeah. You move up, you move up, you move up. But now you see the defense and the 2 DMs pushing down, and you have a line of 4 pressing by themselves and trying to force the opposition to play it long. And when they play it long, you are 6 against 4 attackers, and you usually win the first ball or the second ball, and then you can start the second wave. This is where, other teams want the opposition to play it long. It's the press play is not only about trying to win the ball high up in the last third. It's also making them pull the emergency brake and play it long, and then you win the ball and start over again. And then you are in a set position.
Yeah.
So again, the modern game, it has changed so much now in the just the last 6 months.
They want to get more accurate with their fucking passing. That's what they want to do. But
I don't know if it makes any sense what I'm saying, Stu. So this is why I don't feel we are going entirely back to the 80s and long balls all the time.
No,
it's always a counter movement. That's what I'm saying.
What I don't think. I'm talking about all managers. I don't think modern managers have the ability to mix and match. I really don't. I don't think they have the ability to do that. They don't think in a fluid motion. They think in a fixed motion. And I always think with football, it's fluid. Your sentence that a game lives its own life, that's fluid. It isn't fixed. And I think sometimes we're playing too fixed a way. We've got to do it this way. We have to do it that way. And one of the things I love about playing myself is when I get the ball, I'm not just going to go and fucking run down the line if I've got the space. I'm not going to move it 10 yards. If I can play it 5 yards, I will do. If I can play it 10 yards, I will do. If I can move it. And I just like the fluid side of the game. And I just think, I don't want to use the word robotic because I don't think we're robotic.
I think we've gone away from that. I think the game has evolved.
Trying to go away from it. Yeah, and I agree. And I think we put way too much praise on the likes of Guardiola, in particular at City, and too much praise on certain managers. Klopp in particular, the way that they play the game. They actually had a system with the players that fitted and suited the way they wanted to play. We don't. And if we could, then maybe Carrick takes you to the promised land. It's a really good question, by the way, and I like it.
My point is it's not about the set system, but it's about set principles.
Yeah.
What do you want to achieve? Do you want to achieve to move the ball as quick as possible from the back to the front?
This is where I want to make.
And you can do it. You can do it by passing it out, or you can do it by playing direct. Or you can. But the principle will always be there. Some teams want to attack with pace and quickly, and some teams want to take their time and develop so they can set into a fixed formation. So again, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to play it long all the time, or you have to play it short all the time.
But I want a team that does both.
But it's about the principles.
And as the third element. But I totally agree. Great question. Me and Jarvis could talk about this forever. And in fact, you would switch off. Even my singing didn't kill you on that one. Quick one from Bilal. And Bilal says, what is your favourite sandwich? Mine's very nice.
I know Trevor's in the chat, so I don't want to say it.
No, you're gonna have to now.
because
make him say it, Trev. Make him say it.
Sandwich with roast beef and red onions and a lot of mayo. Roast beef.
I am a nice layer of Philadelphia and cream cheese with some chicken with red onions on it and some cheese, cracked black pepper and a little bit of sea salt.
Oh,
divine. Pink sea salt, by the way, because it adds flavour. That's my favourite sandwich. Yes, but I love roast beef, by the way. Yeah, it's out, Trev. We were trying to keep it under wraps. It is true. We have sold Tactical Devils TV to the overlap. We wanted to keep it quiet, and we got more than 7 figures. Trev, we were worth way more to Mr. Neville than Mr. Goldbridge. We can't disclose the amount of money we received, but it's true. It's all true, isn't it? Isn't it, Jarvis?
Wink, wink.
Yes, our NBA.
Yeah. Well, he sent me an email, but I didn't even reply because I think it's an outrage. I will never be bought by the overlap.
No, not for us.
No.
Yeah, Tyrone says, I've got a feeling United will go for Alex Scott. I actually think that's a good shout, to be honest. He's massively matured. He won't go to the World Cup, but he's massively matured, I think, this season. I think he's a really good footballer, talented footballer. For me, though, the problem with Alex Scott is, maybe Baleba, actually, he's not coming into a finished team. He's not coming into a team that's got a huge amount of leaders. He's still a young kid.
Yeah.
With Casemiro departing, Maguire obviously staying, but we don't think he'll play many.
Apparently, it's too similar to Kobe Mainu, according to the reports.
Oh, I've seen that.
As I said.
I've seen that. Yeah, but I do like him, Tyrone. I think he's a really good player. We've got to be very, very careful with bringing young players into a team with 0 leaders. I mean, it's just not good.
We could easily end up as Chelsea. That's
the that'd be the worry. That would be the worry.
Yeah.
What else have we got?
A lot of good comments, as Jarle Malmini said. Ham and bacon. Let us lots of mayo and paprika.
Very nice.
Yeah. That's Jarle. He's hungry now. Big up Jarle.
He's hungry now.
Yeah.
Jarle's got a question.
Said holiday turkey sandwich from Earl of Sandwiches in Disney Spring is my favorite.
Oh, okay. We've got a question from Jarle. Big up Johnny K. And he said, could Lacey be a starter on the left?
No.
Well, I'll go quickly with that one as well. I don't think so.
I would rather play him on the right. We know what he's good at least in the beginning. He needs to build his confidence. You don't want to put a young player out of position. For me, I would rather play him on the right and then play Mbeumo on the left or whatever.
Yes. No.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. But it's an interesting thought. I don't know how his crossing abilities is. I can't say I know Lacey too well. I only seen cameos.
Paul, can I run down the wing? The short answer to that would be no. Yeah, I used to be able to run. I'm 56 now, Paul, but I did used to be able to run, relatively quickly. Although I do think I'm running quickly now. To which my son says, "Why are you walking, Dad?" And I said, "Well, what do you mean? I was at top speed. What are you on about?" So yeah, I'm not the quickest anymore, but I love playing still. I've got to do this. We'll do this as the last one, pal, because I think it's quite funny. Trevor Wade, who will go down first? West Ham, Tottenham, or Jarvis on a night out?
No, I would never go down.
Trev, you're an absolute legend, mate. You just asked the best. Okay, exactly. We'll finish off with this one. Actually, it's a bit more serious question. So Trev says, should clubs have trained staff in their club that is referee qualified so as to argue the case like that of Martinez sending off if it goes to appeal? Yeah. Well, the short answer to that is absolutely. And do you know what? I doubt we do. I don't know if we do or don't, Trev. I don't know the answer to that in terms of do we, but I think we should. I think it's a really, really good idea. Very good idea. You're talking about putting a coach or a member of staff on a refereeing course, which they can do. They can pay for it and become a qualified referee, and then
or just bring in Clattenburg or hire him in the club, as the referee,
or hire a referee and
lawyer, something,
or something like that. Yeah, so a great point, Trev. For me,
yeah,
really good point.
That's a good idea. Good
idea. Yeah, really good point. I like it.
Yeah, it's been a brilliant show, guys. But before we leave, I want you to put your score predictions in the chat. I want to know, and while you do that, I want to have Stu's score prediction, and I will give you mine. And also, if you will add the goal scorers. So, Stu, Brentford, Old Trafford tomorrow night. How do you see the game?
Manchester United will reign supreme. We'll qualify for the Champions League, and we will win 2-0. Thiago will have an off night, and will beat their press, and Bruno will get a penalty, and I'm banging Sesko to pop one in with his golden nugget. So I'm going to go 2-0.
2-0.
Yeah. And the Madness asked a very good question, by the way, while you're all putting your scores in, and you answer yours. And he said, do you think United will produce a class of 26? It's an interesting question, because when you look at the likes of Thwaites, when you look at the likes of what's coming through,
Thwaites, Shea Lacey, JJ,
little Kai Rooney, Obi. It's an interesting question, and the Madness. Jury's out on that one for me, but it's a good question. It's a good question. The jury's out for me on that one. It's a difficult one to answer.
No, but my answer to that is no, because we don't develop youngsters. That's our biggest problem.
A lot of good scores coming through. Before I read them out, what's yours?
Tough game always. I'm a pessimist. 2-2.
2-2.
Yeah.
Okay.
2-2. And the goal scorers will be Casemiro. We will always score.
With his noggin, pop one in with a nut.
Casemiro and Bruno. Yeah.
Okay. Danny B says 2-0 to United. Trev says 3-1. Lamon's hat trick.
Bring it up, Stu, while you.
Yeah, a Lamon's hat trick. Yalaman says 3-0. 3-0 to Brentford. Okay. Interesting. Okay.
I hope you're not right, Yala. I hope you're not right.
Scores?
By the way, how did Viking do, Yala, in the Norwegian Premier League? Bodø/Glimt won and Tromsø won. So both the team from the north won in the Norwegian Premier League.
Yeah, and the Amanda says 3. Yeah, 3-1.
Sesko, Casemiro, and Bruno. And the Madness always coming in with some positivity. Big up.
Daz thinks Bruno will get 2 assists. Oh, does that give him the assist record then, doesn't it? I call them passes.
Yeah.
I call them passes. Bruno will get 2 extra passes. I think that's it. Those are all the scores, pal.
Yeah, Johnny, I don't know if you read out this
sorry,
one. I'm sorry, but I'll go
Johnny
2-1 Bruno and Mbumo.
Yeah, sorry, Johnny K. One apologises sincerely for missing you off. How could I miss the legend that is Johnny K? I'm sorry, pal.
And by the way, Johnny K, you sent something in the WhatsApp group talking a little bit about another Monday night game.
Yes, another Monday night.
7th of the season.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Absolutely.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I made a comment on Twitter that actually got a lot of traction. And I said, I think it's because of the Americanization of the game. Nothing against Americans, but how they, set up the Monday night game, NFL style. And yeah, I'm afraid that this is where we are going with this.
I think we are.
So it won't be the last Monday night game when it comes to Man United.
Well, the Americans famously have Monday night football, don't they?
They do.
They have Monday night football. We used to have Monday night football, but and Friday night football, Saturday night football, Sunday afternoon football. Fucking hell.
I prefer Saturdays and Sundays.
I don't
preferably like Saturdays for me.
Viking 1-2-1.
Ooh, big up. Congratulations.
Was it 2-1? Look at Leeds game. Look at the performance of the Chelsea game. Brentford winning. It's alive. Viking 1-2-1.
Okay.
By the way, Yalam, I mean, just talking about his scoreline there.
Yeah. 2-1. Thank you, guys. It's been a great show. If you haven't, please smash the like. And I like this Sunday night weekend wrap-up shows. It's more
Sunday night
vibe. Sunday night vibe. Top fans of the show, Danny B, 225 points. Great. I don't know if you can see this. Danny B, Das comes in second. Trevor Wade, third most comments. Yalim Almin, I am Titanium. Tyrone Williams, is it just me? Tom Porter. A-Ball, M the Madness, Gas Elliott, Nietzsche fan, Sean, United versus everybody, Johnny K Mode, who else? Gary Sidhu, On the Edge, King Solbo, Jadin, The Primate, all of you. Thank you guys for
I'm just going through the list. Where the fuck am I? I'm not fucking happy about it. I'm not.
No, you didn't leave a comment. You didn't talk enough.
That's an absolute. Clearly, I didn't. Clearly, I didn't. I'm not happy about that at all. I'm just going through the list, yeah.
But thank you guys for being a part and interacting with us. I know we could even be better at talking back, but sometimes we get stuck into the tactical debates. But it's been a great show. We will be back after the game tomorrow night, do a quick match reaction. But we will probably do a breakdown when we come to Tuesday, I reckon.
Yeah, we'll do a Tuesday early show because I know 21st Century Vampire likes it when we go early Tuesday.
Thank you, Trev. Thank you.
Cheers, Trev.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Guys.
Thank you,
we will be back on the next one. Have a good one. See you. Bye. Have a good night and see you on the next. Smash the like, subscribe, leave a comment in the non-live section and hype the show. Now I said it. Have a good night.
Yes.
Bye.
See you guys. Bye-bye.